Hello and welcome to Money, 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 your weekly personal finance date with me, Surabhi Upadhyay. Do you have assets or income that you have perhaps not disclosed? Are you wondering if participating in the government's income declaration scheme is a good idea? Are you confused about the disclosure process and wondering what happens once you actually come clean? Well, if the answer to the above questions is yes, then stay glued to your seat for the next half hour because a very, very special guest joins us on Money, Money, Money this week. Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax Mumbai, DS Saxena. He is literally the top tax boss of Mumbai, and he's here to clear the air on the income declaration scheme 2016, and he's here to tell us exactly how it works. Sir, it's a great pleasure and an honor to have you here in the studios. Thank you for taking out the time. For the benefit of all those who are watching who want to know a little more about IDS, and also joining me, of course, is personal finance expert HARSHVARDHAN. Harsh, you will bring in the kind of queries and questions that are circulating in the market, what people really want to know before they take the plunge and go in for the IDS. So, I'll start with this very basic question, Mr. Saxena. We've had income disclosure schemes, voluntary disclosure schemes in the past, and now in 2016 comes the IDS. What is IDS all about, and how is it different from the previous schemes?
IDS is different from previous schemes because, firstly, it is not a voluntary disclosure scheme. Secondly, the main aim of the IDS is not to garner money. It is for a greater purpose, because if you have heard our Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Man Ki Baat and on some other forums, what he is saying is that you should come clean because our economy is now almost a developed economy, and so we should all have clean balance sheets so that we can progress in our trade, business.
So the scheme opened out on the 1st of June this year. It's on till the 30th of September. How do you gauge the feedback and the response so far?
Response has been very encouraging. There have been disclosures and there have been many queries. I think that many people are waiting and they are trying to sort of evaluate in what way they can get benefit out of this.
So are you expecting a big rush as we get into September now?
I think so, probably.
So, you know, sir, the big question that really comes in and the queries that float around, the one big concern on people's mind before they take the plunge is, will there be a witch hunt? What will happen? Will I, you know, if I'm disclosing under IDS, will I come under some kind of a tax blacklist, which means very frequent assessment queries, very frequent notices coming my way, even in subsequent assessment years?
No, that fear is unfounded because the information given under this scheme is strictly confidential. It is limited only to the Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, who doesn't have anything to do with assessment. It will all be kept under lock and key under his supervision, and details won't get out, not to other departments and not to our department also.
Well, Harsh, let me bring you in here as well, because you know you were saying earlier that there are questions in the market as to what happens if maybe the income tax department is of course not going to be giving out these details, but you know perhaps other enforcement agencies. What are the concerns that people really have?
Yeah, so in fact, Surabhi, because we've been conducting so many awareness programs about the IDS, so we've got so many anonymous queries where people have specific requirements and they have apprehensions before disclosing. So, sir, there was one specific query which was very interesting. So this is a person who says that he's been undertaking trading activities. So he's into buying and selling of goods, and which he started a couple of years ago with undisclosed income. So the capital was basically he bought goods and he's buying and selling those goods. So the question is, now he wants to come clean. So is there, besides the 45% tax which is paid on the capital and the profits earned on that trading activity, is there going to be any sales tax or VAT liability additional to this income tax?
Actually, it is income declaration scheme, and the immunity you get is only with reference to the Income Tax Act. VAT and sales tax are separate, so their liability also will arise.
The immunity is only with respect to the Income Tax Act. Any other act, if you sort of have erred under any other law, I suppose you'll just have to deal with those consequences.
Absolutely. So on this category, we are very clear. The declaration is only, an immunity is provided only for income. Any other liability that may arise, the department, Income Tax Department is not going to share the information. However, if there is any prosecution under any other law, then there is no immunity that can be
Absolutely.
No, but let me tell you one thing. It depends upon the form of your declaration, because suppose you will have to bring that amount of money in your balance sheet and in your, which may be open to inspection by the sales tax department. Suppose you don't show it as sales, you show it as pure other income, then probably there won't be any sales tax liability.
So it entirely depends on the nature of disclosure, and then of course the conversations that you have with the other enforcement agency or the other tax department. Sir, just coming back now to the basics. So what all needs to be declared under IDS? What type of assets, what type of income are we talking about?
All those income and assets which you have not disclosed earlier.
So I just want to delve a little deeper into that facet, because as I go through the scheme rules, which is on the income tax website, it's very clear whether it's bullion, jewelry, precious stones, whether we're talking about art, archaeological collections, drawing, paintings, all of this has to be disclosed. And how is the valuation then going, the independent valuation going to be done, and at what value will the tax be levied?
Actually, we have registered valuers for all kinds of assets. So you go to that registered valuer, he'll value the asset for you. So
the tax has to be paid on the current market value, or would it have to be paid at the cost of purchase?
Current market value or the cost of purchase, whichever is higher.
So the taxman is going to ask you to pay the higher of the two. There's no escaping, no getting away from that. All right, gentlemen.
No, but there won't be any inquiry. Like you would say that the value of this house is 2 crores. We'll take you at your word. We won't question the valuation which has been made.
Okay, all right, fair enough. We'll take a break on that note, but lots of other questions, including the link between the income declaration scheme and the Benami Transactions Prohibition Act. What's the link? What is it that you need to keep in mind after the break?